With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Now the Michigan man, Jake Moody, to get us started.
And off we go from Seattle.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Faking the give, Darnold. And his first pass is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. And they'll send the tight end in motion.
And they'll run. It's Ken Walker.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
That's taken at around the 40. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10.
At the 45. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Open man is Juwan Jennings.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Here's Purdy.
This one caught by Kittle. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Christian McCaffrey.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Niners get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 29, here's a 2nd and 7.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Back to throw, Darnold.
He completes this to Walker.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Darnold now to throw.
Got his man, and that's the rookie 4th-round pick.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. To throw is Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd down and 1.
Off of play action, Darnold.
Has it complete to Jackson Smith and Jigba.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 16. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd and 5.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
Darnold from the gun. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Touchdown, Seahawks. Noah Fant, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
It took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down, but hey, not only did they get the 1st down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a 1st down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing here, Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as he gets this up past the 40.
They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Purdy now to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Back to throw, Purdy.
Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's 2nd and 3.
In motion goes the tight end.
Now Purdy. Open man, the former Gator. It's Ricky Pearsall.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw.
And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Purdy. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Purdy looking to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13.
Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2nd down and 8.
Operating from the gun, Purdy. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Here is third and quite a ways.
Looking to throw. Purdy.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
And this one is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Here's Darnold.
Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant.
A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. $10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. 2nd and 9. As they've got it as we resume action. The 49ers get there. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 66 yards. And the Seahawks have moved out in front. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The 49ers offense now. They work their way back onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw. Purdy.
That's complete to Pearsall.
That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 4. Purdy from the gun. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers. And ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Out of the gun, Purdy.
And the ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. 23 yards on the play.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep, end up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Purdy will look to throw again here. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
After the interception, here's Darnold.
And he's got Smith and Jigba.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Smith and Jigba in motion right.
Here's Darnold. And his throw is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Darnold. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The tight end in motion right. Purdy will set up to throw it here. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Here's a 2nd and 5. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Here's Purdy. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Got a man. That's Ayuk. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Throwing here, Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Pass caught by Pearsall.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Purdy sets up to throw again. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive.
Now Purdy. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Christian McCaffrey
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the 49ers are once again back in front. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way you can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Moody good with the extra point.
And it's now 17-14.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Darnold now to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Purdy looking to throw. Connects with Kittle underneath. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd down and 3. Purdy. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Back to throw, Purdy.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw.
That's caught by Jennings. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Purdy from the gun.
And this one is incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Purdy will look to throw again here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Darnold, he's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And McCaffrey going to pick up a Niners first down as he'll get this up past the 40.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jennings. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Second down and a yard. Purdy now to throw. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Shotgun now with Purdy.
Completes it to Jennings. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Two yards to go, second down.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he gets it down to the 32.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. No question that they're going to continue to look his way. 6 catches in the first half and now 7 on the game. Out of the gun, Purdy. He's got Ayuk once again.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. A handoff left, McCaffrey. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That second down play nets a -4.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Here's Purdy.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, a 16-yard touchdown.
And the Niners take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Purdy and the Niner offense, they'll stay on the field. They'll try to go for 2 here.
They'll try and throw for him. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half.
They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game. Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28.
Now it's Darnold.
Throw out wide to Walker.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. A play fake, and it's Darnold.
That is caught, and he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up, but I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 5.
Now Darnold.
And he's got Smith and Jigba.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 22 yards there, a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Here's Darnold. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on fourth down. It's Jason Myers. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Myers' kick is good, and that lead is back down to 9 now. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Niners set to take over on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now Purdy. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Throwing here, Purdy. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end.
Look at the big man rumble.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle with now his 2nd touchdown of this third quarter.
And the Niners add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Darnold.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is taken at the 15. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
Now 2nd and 5.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Third and 4. Back to throw, Purdy. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Fielded at the 20. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
59 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw is Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Straight ahead, Walker.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 6.
Darnold now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Myers' kick is good. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They begin on the ground with Guerrero.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out now come the Seahawks.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
brought down at the 45-yard line.
That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And Walker has it. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. On the give, it's Walker. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 75 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown! Cooper Kupp with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he returns this to the 22. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Purdy. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 2. Purdy now to throw. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum the other side is starting to gain.
The Niners on third down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Into space at the 45. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Well, same target, same result. It's Kittle. And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as he'll get this down to the 41.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Third and 3. Out of the gun, Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth-quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? In the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
So the victory here for San Francisco. And say what you want about Lumen Field here in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league when you're on the road.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this one. They were able to somehow come in here and get that victory.
So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.